Hey, everybody, we're back, and I'm proud to present the great Oakland Auditor Michael C. Houston again. And should have had him on a lot more, and I'm going to straighten that out because I actually have an idea I want to share with you in the coming weeks. But at any rate, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Auditor Houston, without any further flotsam and jetsam from me, how the heck? What the heck happened? What happened?
Well, I guess the story from my perspective starts back in 2023 when we received an anonymous complaint about these overpayments within the Department of Transportation and Public Works departments, and the complaint was basically that if folks in those departments were overpaid due to FLSA Overtime Premium Pay. And we looked into it as soon as we received it. And after months of digging through the city's formulas and looking up FLSA rules and looking through the MOUs and the city charter, municipal code, and our ordinances, we substantiated it. And we were able to confirm that this FLSA premium pay calculation applied to about $1.67 million of FLSA overtime pay for employees in DLT and Public Works between January 2018 and May 2024.
Was this an I mean, the obvious public question is, okay, was this deliberate or an error? Was it a matter of incompetence or was it skullduggery?
Yeah, interesting. It would be great to be able to answer that question. The only thing we know is we don't even know when this began. We know that it was in place as of January 2018, but it could have been in place far before then. We just don't know, and we don't know whether or not who coded the city's payroll system to include these formulas, or whether or not it was intentionally done, or if it was a mistake, or if it was actually wrongdoing. We don't know the answer to these questions.
Are there going to be safeguards to make sure this doesn't happen again? I mean, the main question is one of transparency. Can we, in the future, know who's responsible for doing this and say, you, right?
I think that's a great idea. One of the things, so it's interesting because a lot of people don't make the distinction in our work. Everything from the auditor's office is an audit, right? Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But this was a very specific project. This was a whistleblower investigation just that we designed to answer the very specific question. And so our objective is to either refute or substantiate the complaint. As far if we were doing a performance audit, it would be about effectiveness, efficiency, equity, compliance with city rules, and we would have a pretty broad recommendations for improving the payroll division, or maybe even we would have recommendations that were beyond the payroll division. But this was just about the specific allegations. But I will tell you that based on this, our findings in this investigation, payroll is definitely a function that warrants audit.
I have to share something with you. I worked for Elihu, former Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris, now from 1995 to 1999, and in 96, I specifically remember a discussion I had with the revenue office about my salary. I was only getting $60,000 or $5,000 a month, but somehow they put in that I was making $196,000, and I wasn't. And it's been a big bugaboo to get rid of to this day because it impacts what I owe in taxes and everything else, and yet I can't get them to alter what was an obvious mistake. All anyone has to do, if the records are available, and I would be surprised if they're not, Let's go back, or just ask Elihu. We paying Zinni $196,000 in 1996. He'll choke on his salad, right? So, and then saying no.
Sure, you were worth every penny.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. Even if it was imaginary. So, but is it that kind of? I mean, if you think about it, it's somebody back there had it in mind. I thought to stick it to me. Yeah, or is it that kind of allowance of this freedom to change numbers willy-nilly that we still have going on?
Wow. Well, we did not find that in this case. And like we just don't have, we just don't know how this issue started or and who specifically was responsible for it. Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah. Is it to imply that you're getting some roadblock or somebody, maybe somebody back there knows, but they're playing, hide the ball or something? Or
I'm not. We didn't have any indication of that. It could be that we just don't have a lot of policies and procedures in place, right? Or any kind of authoritative documents outlining stuff. We don't have any evidence that there was any like wrongdoing in this
right.
case. But it's interesting because a lot of times when we say whistleblower investigation, and people are aware that the whistleblower hotline is dedicated to complaints about fraud, waste, and abuse, and that suggests personal wrongdoing. Somebody is doing something wrong. The only thing we can conclude in this particular investigation was that there was a wasteful practice that has been going on since at least January 2018.
Wow. And this really covers the Mayor Schaaf's tenure, her second term, because it started when she got reelected. I'm not saying I got to straighten that out because I can hear her screaming at me. I'm not saying it started when she got elected, but I'm saying it started the same year that Libby was reelected.
Yeah, and that was just the scope of our investigation. So, and which was defined in part by the data that we could easily access, right? So, I mean, really, who knows how far back this goes? We have a very talented team and committed team in the auditor's office, but we're very
you found it. Yeah.
We found this, right? But we don't have I had to decide whether or not it was worth trying to dig back into legacy systems to pinpoint the exact time, and it wasn't worth it. We had our investigation objectives, which was the main objective was to confirm or refute that claim that the FLSA Overtime Premium Pay was excessive.
Auditor Houston, my friend, it also sounds like you're saying to me, we need more money.
Oh, the City Auditor's Office absolutely needs more resources. I think that is clear. The city charter outlines it, right? So there's a minimum staffing level. We have 7.5 people right now. Our minimum staffing per the amendments to the city charter was 14, but there was another ballot measure, passed Measure NN in November, which also commits to an auditor position within my office. So really it's 15 now.
And it just hit my head, so forgive me for asking, but you'll let me know if it's something you can't answer. But as I understood it, there was a perception, not from your office, but from others, that your budget was impacted by the now recalled mayor negatively. And has there been anyone to come around and say, you know what, now that Mayor Tao is recalled, maybe we should revisit your budget and where it should be set versus where it was set while she was mayor? You know what I mean?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Let me say it bluntly, just so that people can understand it like they're five, right? What I'm saying is, did Mayor Tao actually take money from the auditor so that they couldn't complete audits against her?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't have any. I don't have any indication of that. This office has never been sufficiently resourced, dating back to
That's true.
or even the initial term of my predecessor back in the the mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So I and we have legal opinions, public legal opinions that that publicize this issue. We've never had the resources that we've needed to conduct our charter mandated responsibilities. And I think the last mayoral administration was just a continuation. I mean, we've never had it. So I can't make that link.
Yeah.
With the former mayor.
Right. But I think it's best to say that we need to get more money to the auditor. I think that should be a top priority, because it's like and I say this because we're at this crisis and a lot of residents are asking how our money is spent. And so this should be the perfect time where the city council says, hey, let's get an extra $2 million to the auditor's office,
You're welcome to come to the public meeting and make that request.
I want to decree. I want to do it like auditor style. I'll write executive order. Oh, before I close this out of respect for your time, that crack about the president does remind me of a question I wondered, and this is what it is. I don't expect you to know the answer, though. Has there been any preliminary reports regarding how any department of the city was impacted by that freeze of funds, and if they got their money?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. I think that the finance department would be able to provide you an update. I don't have any idea on that.
Yeah, they should be putting out. Yeah, I'll reach out to them. That's something that I think a lot of people would like to know. Yeah.
Good question.
All right. I know you got a tight schedule, so stick around in the background. I'll end this stream. Everybody, hey, subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. Bookmark ZennyReport.com and
unknown caller.
Ignoring that, by the way, and also for you, Auditor Houston, bookmark Oscar. You an Oscars fan?
Oscars, like the award ceremony?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't know too much.
I'll tell you what. Bookmark OscarsMovieNews.com. That's Zenny62 media site that we created, and I'm quite proud of it. Oscar Sunday is this Sunday. And I will end this stream. You don't have to move. Thank you. Oh, I'll tell you about it. I'll end this stream. Hold on a second. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.